We're going to cover 3 topics. Most people are waiting for permission to live. They're scared to ask that one question, launch that thing, book that ticket, because you're terrified of what would happen if it doesn't work. But today, you'll discover why playing it safe might be the riskiest thing you've ever done. I'm 22, I've had a zero in my bank accounts more times than I can count, got kicked out of school 2 years ago, and also lived on crackers for 2 months when I went broke. I've been rejected more times than most people will in a lifetime, through sales, asking girls out, or pitching companies, all while chasing freedom and building something real from scratch. And now you'll see how traveling and taking risks changed my life. Because through all of it, I've never felt more alive. Living in Bali, Vietnam, now back in Lisbon, through all the ups and downs. Now, let's dive into building a life that you actually feel alive. Back in school, I was thinking I was doing what I was supposed to do. Took out the student loan, partied, smoked, drunk, and the plan after graduation, got a stable job as a theater teacher, pay off my debts, take a few vacations, get a wife, maybe a dog, some children, buy a house, and do that until I'm retired. Sounds safe, right? Maybe it's what you're doing right now, or the life you think you should build. But how does it actually make you feel? Because deep down, I already knew that if I actually followed that path, I'll end up living a life that I would regret. Not because it's wrong, but because it wasn't mine. It was the only path I'd ever seen. And the scariest part, felt easier to follow it than to question it. But then something shifted. I started disconnecting from my classmates. Maybe you felt that too with your coworkers or your current circles. I started reading Think and Grow Rich, How to Win Friends and Influence People, 48 Laws of Power, and it opened the door I couldn't close again. Because once you see that truth, you can't unsee it. I didn't know what I was going to do, but I knew I couldn't stay where I was. Then the universe made a decision for me. I got kicked out of school. And looking back, it was the best thing that could have happened. Because if I hadn't been forced out, I would still be in that classroom, pretending, without any fire inside of me, feeling empty and shallow in what I was doing, knowing that there was something missing. Now I know that the most dangerous path is the one that feels the safest, because you don't even realize you're asleep. You're just comfortable. The first real risk, I went into sales, fully commission-based, zero experience. No safety net, just hunger. And it showed. I went broke. Then after a while, I finally started making it work. Build momentum, but just when I could have settled for something safe, I gave up stability. Again, I left my in-person job and started traveling. First to Lisbon, then Madeira. And when I flew to Bali, the first time, I realized in the plane that I had zero money on my bank account. Literally broke, 30,000 feet up in the air. But there's the thing, even with the fear, the stress, the uncertainty, I've never felt more alive. Because I was in it, creating, moving, becoming. And every time I leaned into fear, new doors start to open up. Like meeting people, having random conversations. And those conversations turned into friends, even clients for my consulting. And I still work with some of those clients nowadays. If I didn't take the risk, I would never have been in the right room. And now I'm doing it again. I'm giving up my main source of income to go all in on my business. It's scary, but you know what's scarier? Waking up 5 years from now, realizing that you're still in the same place because you didn't try. So if you're on the edge of a decision right now, here's your permission to slip. Do it, take action, make it work. If it fails, you can always go back. If you never try, you will never know what could have been. 2 years ago, I was dreaming about this life. Working from Bali, catching sunsets in Lisbon, building my business in Vietnam. Now it's my normal. And if I never left home, none of it would have happened. Didn't just change my location. It changed my life. It showed me that everything is possible if you're willing to leave what's comfortable. And the biggest unlock, environment is everything. When you're surrounded by people playing small, it's hard to play big. But when you start running into creators, freelancers, business owners, people who are doing the thing, you level up fast. There wasn't just one conversation that changed everything, but one thing always brings it back for me. The sunsets. The first sunset I've watched as a digital nomad was here in Lisbon, eating a pizza, sitting at the Miradouro, and I remember thinking, this is freedom. Since then, whether it was in Bali, Vietnam, Madeira, watching the sunset reminds me I'm alive. Even when there's stress, even when there's work piling up, even when there's uncertainty. But all those feelings, I wouldn't trade it for anything. So if you're stuck right now, if your life feels gray, just go. Take a month. Not to be a tourist, but to live differently. Find a co-working space, join a run club, go to events. Meet people who inspire you. Because if nothing changes, nothing changes. So strive now and regret nothing later. Because honestly, I have no regrets at all from everything, every action that I took in the past 2 years, 2.5 years. But that's the thing, you need to take action. You need to go. And if you made it this far, you've probably needed this reminder that life is not waiting, and neither should you. 90% of you who is watching this is not subscribed yet. Hit subscribe so we can grow together. Because this channel is about building a life that you won't take a vacation off. And if you want to see what this journey really looks like sometimes, watch this video next. And else, visionaries, I would say take action, create your own story, and I see you later. Ciao.